As your sweet baby enters toddlerhood, many parents notice a big transition in their child's wants, desires, opinions, and behaviors. It can feel overwhelming to help your child navigate so many big feelings in such a tiny body. More than anything, I want you to feel encouraged today that know that first, you're not alone. I've never known a parent that has not found toddlerhood challenging. And second, God gave you this specific child for a reason. You are the right person for this job. Remember that your toddler is just that, a toddler. We sometimes view them as if they have adult brains and small bodies, but they don't. They can't reason as an adult can. They can't regulate emotions like an adult. So tailor your expectations to fit their age. You can do this by learning what's appropriate developmentally for your child's age. The CDC and many other organizations put out free milestone trackers. And this can help you gauge if your expectations are appropriate for your child. For example, it's not typical for a 2-year-old to sit quietly through a church service. So if you know that they aren't yet developmentally capable of that, it may enable you to have more grace for yourself and your child as you both grow. Next, know that these are not lost years. Our culture talks of the early years as something that parents just need to survive. While there are certainly plenty of moments you do just have to get through, the toddler years can be so much more than just survival. These are the years that build the foundation of your relationship with your child, and they create the structure around which your child's life can be built. This is not to say that patterns can't be changed as children grow up, but it is easier to lay the foundation than to rebuild it later. So view this time as building the foundation of a house. Next, your own self-regulation is incredibly important. We have to find ways to cope and manage emotions as a parent. We hear a lot of talk about co-regulating with our children and helping them calm down. In order to do this, we have to have our own coping skills established. We cannot help our child regulate if we're not able to regulate ourselves. It's easy to feel as if there's no time to learn this, and that can be true, but doing this is incredibly important to setting an example of calming down for your child, and it will help you be able to handle the emotions that arise in you throughout these toddler years. And there will be plenty of emotions that arise in you. Expect that. You're going to make mistakes. You'll say things or act in ways that you wish you hadn't. And when this happens, just apologize to your child. Let them know that you made a bad choice and you're working on learning new ways to handle your own big feelings. Then follow through on that and learn new ways. God can use this time in your life to humble you, soften you, mold you, and sanctify you. It can be hard to apologize to anyone, and sometimes it's especially hard to apologize to children. But this is a beautiful practice to model for your children. It's something that we often ask them to do throughout their childhood, and they will be better able to do it when they've experienced it from you. You've heard it said to avoid power struggles. It's easier said than done, but it is a cliche for a reason. If you're engaging in a battle of wills, no matter who wins, the relationship will lose. Your toddler will fight you on so many things that don't make sense, but know that it is normal and expected for toddlers to have tantrums. It's hard for you to go through, and it's also hard for them to go through. They're confused and not sure what's going on inside of them. So view them compassionately. They've not experienced all the hard things that we've learned to experience as adults. These tiny situations that arise are stressful and overwhelming to their little brains. So recognize that struggle in them, have compassion, regulate yourself, and then help them through it. Find ways to minimize situations that evoke this power struggle. One that many parents find helpful is giving a child 2 options. For example, if brushing teeth is something that brings up big emotions in your child, let your child choose if they would like to put on pajamas or brush teeth first. Like all of us, when toddlers feel like they have some control, their emotions are usually more manageable. Another suggestion is giving warnings for transition times. Transitions are notoriously hard for toddlers, so let them know one is coming. For example, you could say, in 5 minutes, we're going to start cleaning up. Then remind them again at 2 minutes, even at 1 minute. Some children benefit from the use of a timer to signal a transition. In thinking about tantrums and the many emotions of toddlers, Remember that all feelings are okay. Not all behaviors are okay. Parents often have this beautiful desire for their children to feel heard and to know it's okay to experience their emotions. Sometimes parents can struggle with finding the balance in hearing and validating their kids while still setting boundaries and expectations. So be intentional about what your expectations are and communicate them to your child. Then stick to it while allowing some freedom in the process. For example, if you set the expectation of having family dinner each night, you could allow your young child to stand and bounce while they eat instead of sitting quietly and still in their chair. Or maybe bring a toy car that they can drive around the table. And remember, validation doesn't always mean agreement. You can validate how they feel without agreeing. So if they're terrified of trying on a new pair of shoes, this probably won't make logical sense to you. But in moments like this, try to keep from using the word but, such as, I know you're scared, but it'll be fine. The but negates everything you said before and does not end up being validating. Give them a true validation and then communicate the expectation. This may sound like, I see you're scared. It's okay to be scared. I'm here and we will do this together. The fear or emotion does not have to make sense to you to be real to them. And you can set the expectation while still holding and caring for their big feelings. Next, empower their learning. Allow your toddler to try things that they can't yet do. It's okay for them to not be able to do it all, but encourage them to try alongside you. This builds their confidence and gives them a safe spot to try out new skills, whether it be learning to put on a piece of clothing, brushing their hair, or measuring out an ingredient when you're cooking. Let them know that you believe they can learn this, even when it's hard. They can still give it a try. Reassure them you're there to support and help them. Remember, perfection is not the standard. So when you don't do it perfectly, apologize. Work on it and try again next time. God will equip you to do this high and holy calling that He has set for your life.